Once upon a time in the ancient world, there lived a group of thinkers who called themselves Stoics. They were men and women who believed in living a life of wisdom, courage, discipline, and justice. Among these virtues, justice held a special place in their hearts. The Stoics believed justice was not just about laws or rules, but about how we treat one another, how we live in harmony, and how we contribute to the greater good of society. The story of Stoic justice begins with a simple idea. Every human being is part of a larger whole. Just as a single hand is part of the body, each person is part of humanity. The Stoics taught that we are all connected, and because of this we must treat others with fairness and kindness. They believed that justice was not something imposed by kings or governments alone. It was a personal duty. Every person, no matter who they were, had the responsibility to act justly in their daily lives. One of the greatest Stoic teachers, Marcus Aurelius, was also a Roman emperor. Despite his immense power, he believed that justice meant seeing all people as equals. In his private writings he reminded himself that even those who angered him or made mistakes deserved fairness. He wrote that justice was about understanding others, not judging them harshly. For him, a ruler's duty was to serve, not to dominate. He saw himself as a shepherd, guiding his people with wisdom rather than force. Another famous Stoic, Epictetus, was born a slave. He knew firsthand the pain of injustice. Yet, he taught that true justice begins within. He said that no one can harm your character unless you allow it. Even if the world is unfair, you can still choose to act with integrity. Epictetus believed that justice was not about seeking revenge or complaining about unfairness. It was about controlling what you could control, your own actions. If everyone focused on doing what was right, the world would become a better place. The Stoics also spoke about justice in nature. They observed that the universe operates with order and balance. The sun rises and sets, the seasons change, and life follows its natural course. They believed human society should mirror this harmony. When people acted unjustly, they disrupted the natural order. The Stoics taught that injustice was like a sickness. It hurt not only the victim but also the one who committed it. A person who cheats, lies, or harms others damages their own soul. But what did justice look like in everyday life? The Stoics gave practical advice. They said justice meant keeping your promises, telling the truth, and treating others as you would want to be treated. It meant standing up for those who were weak or oppressed. It meant not taking more than your share. A just person, they believed, was someone who could be trusted in small things as well as big ones. One story from ancient times tells of a Stoic philosopher who saw a wealthy man mistreating a servant. The philosopher approached the wealthy man and said, "By hurting him, you hurt yourself. You think you gain power, but you lose your humanity." The wealthy man laughed, but later, when he faced hardship, no one came to help him. He realized too late that justice and kindness were the true sources of strength. The Stoics also warned against false justice, when people pretend to be fair but act out of selfishness. They said true justice required wisdom. It was not enough to follow laws blindly. A person had to think deeply about what was right. Sometimes laws themselves could be unjust. In such cases, the Stoics believed it was a duty to resist peacefully and seek change. In the end, the Stoic view of justice was about balance. It was about giving each person their due, respect, fairness, compassion. They believed that justice was not just for courts and judges, but for every interaction, every decision, every moment of life. A just life, they taught, was a peaceful life. When we act with justice, we align ourselves with nature, with reason, and with the good of all. And so, the Stoics left us a powerful lesson. Justice begins in the heart. It is not just about what we do, but who we are. If we wish to live wisely and well, we must make justice our guide, in thoughts, in words, and in deeds. For in the end, a life without justice is no life at all.